Hi, my name is Tiffany Mejia-Samos. I am a Parkland student. I'm studying psychology. I met Jesus when I was 12, but I struggled a lot for the past 7 or 8 years. In 2020, I was diagnosed with PCOS, endometriosis, depression, and anxiety, and I was suffering through many symptoms before my diagnosis. Some of these were weight fluctuation, hair loss, extreme anxiety, feeling very sad, and just so many other symptoms that I could go into. As time went on, things started getting worse. I started going to the doctors and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me at first. And I would say, my hair is falling out. I'm not getting my menstrual cycle as I should. My weight is fluctuating. They just kind of blamed it on me being overweight, and they never checked anything in my blood. They never did any lab work. I knew I needed a miracle because I was feeling very hopeless. My doctor told me that I was born with these conditions and that I was going to have to die with these conditions. This made me very suicidal, and I was just living life without any hope. I felt sad. I had no joy in my life, and I knew that I needed God to help me to get through these seasons. I wanted to be healed before, but I was afraid of letting go of these things. So I knew God had the power to heal me. I always knew that He wanted to heal me because He's a good God, but there was something that made me fear letting go of, say, that I had anxiety, depression, and these things, because I felt like I wasn't gonna be myself anymore. It was like a lie that I was being told. In spring of 2022, I started going to Vineyard, and I started going to a live college ministry. It was kind of intimidating because I'm a very introverted person naturally. So I didn't know anybody. I didn't really socialize. I was invited to go to the spring retreat, and I decided to go. The morning of going to this retreat, I had a doctor's appointment because I had an ultrasound done, which my doctor discovered my uterus was once again filled with cysts and I needed a second operation. And so I was feeling very sad, frustrated, and confused. But despite that, I decided to go. The last night we were there during worship time, something in me, I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I have to let go of these things. I can't continue to live with these conditions because it's not a way to live. And so I remember I told God, like, I'm just gonna say yes to you, Lord, and I just want you to do what you want to do. I was prayed over, and I had an encounter with God, and He healed me completely. Kind of felt like He just gave me like a big hug because I literally like heard an audible voice. He spoke to me in Spanish because that's what I usually pray in, and so He said, "Mi niña, ya puedes descansar. You can rest now." That's what I heard. That was like, oh, I'm healed, and I just felt peace. And so when I came back from the retreat, I told my parents, hey, I'm healed. And they were like, wait, what's going on? I'm so confused. And so I just told them everything that happened during the retreat. I told them how I became close with God again, how I desired to be in His presence again. And then later on, I went to the doctors, and I had an ultrasound done. So when the results came back, there was no cysts found in my uterus. But before, I had an ultrasound done, and it was like my uterus was covered completely, which was a big problem because I would have to have another surgery again, and this would make me infertile. But nothing, like the results came back clear, and my doctor was confused. So she said, let's get an MRI because there was something done, like there was something wrong with the ultrasound. That was her words. And so I went to get the MRI done, and then when the results came back, she couldn't understand what was going on, and she said, I don't know what happened, but your uterus looks like you've never had PCOS or endometriosis. And so I looked at her because it was in person. She told me the results in person. I said, that's Jesus. And she was like, okay. Like, she didn't really believe, but I knew. And so now I don't have any of these conditions anymore. My hair started growing back. My weight is getting under control. All my hormone levels are like getting regulated. And now I'm feeling healthy and joyful, and my relationship with God has grown so much. I started going to Sockham, and I was recently baptized, and every day I just decided to spend more and more time with Him. Now, like anybody that I can, I just tell them what happened. I would say to anybody watching that God wants to give you that miracle that you're desiring, just like He did with me. And God is so good, and He wants to show you the love and the power that He has.